Got a couple of questions for you.
Oh, yeah, you guys. Okay.
I know we have a deadline to meet
Uh-huh.
with this process.
Yeah.
If we don't meet that process, it goes to the county. Do you know what that process is?
How the county,
How the county would do it?
I'm not positive. I think it would be based on their bylaws. I'd have to look into how the county would do it. I've got the MASB document. I could go back and read it.
Well,
but
no,
it's- Yeah.
I mean, we're probably gonna, okay, and under the Open Meetings Act, if there are violations, who would file them? And who do they get filed with? Is that the board secretary that would file them? Is it you? Is it legal counsel?
I'm not sure. We'd have to go through legal counsel to see if there were some violations. I'm not positive, Hussein. I'd have to, Trustee Barry, I'd have to check with our legal to see what, that process would be.
Okay, let's do
I've
that.
never
Okay.
been part of
I
it.
just wanted,
Yeah. But I can find out.
okay. I would like that information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sure.
I questioned that before, violations of the Open Meetings Act can be filed by anyone, and they go to the county prosecutor's office. It's not
Is that
anybody here.
that's a state law? Is it the county prosecutor or is it the attorney general?
Or the Attorney General, yeah.
Just, you know what,
What I
let's not
recall is
assume. Let's
the
just-
county
let's just-
prosecutor,
Let's not assume, let's just talk with
our prosecuting attorney for Wayne County.
okay, let's talk.
And it wouldn't go to any of us because it might be about any of us. so
It
that
might be,
wouldn't
yeah, exactly.
But any citizen can file a complaint on their own.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Next item. whatever
Okay,
it is.
item 1, citizen participation on agenda action item. Those persons who wish to speak concerning an agenda action item may do so at this time. Please submit a blue card and observe the indicated time limit. We do not have any blue cards on the next action item. We do have blue cards for the following discussion.
So we can go to next
Action
item,
item,
action
right.
item 2, election of board president for the remainder of the 2017 calendar year. Recommended action, move that. You,
Okay, yeah. Move that blank be nominated to serve as president of the P-12 Board of Education and as chairperson of the Henry Ford College Board of Trustees for the remainder of the 2017 calendar year.
I would like to make a motion
yes.
that Mary Lane be president, be nominated president.
Second. All those, yes, discussion?
Yeah, we have a little discussion, if you don't mind. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Trustee Lane. She's a great leader. I would be honored to serve under her leadership. I have served under her leadership, but I would just like to know, why are we getting away from the way it's been done when we elect our leadership by, through rotation process? I mean, have anybody had the discussion? Again, this has nothing to do with Trustee Lane. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Trustee Lane. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just asking about the process.
Well, the first and most obvious thing is that if everyone moves up, then what had happened in the past, which was when President McDonald moved up during the middle of a term, she served only part of a term. And that means that all of you would serve only part of a term. So I think that's everyone's motivation. I don't know everyone's motivation, but I'm assuming that everyone wants to serve a full term. I know some people would like to serve a full term.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
we shouldn't assume anything. That's why we're here. We're here for an organizational meeting.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, we're here. That's why we're here.
correct.
Yeah, so, I mean, we shouldn't assume anything.
No,
Yeah.
but that means, I mean, someone can make another motion.
Yeah, so my motion's on the table now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Right.
still under
Okay.
discussion right now.
Yeah.
The problem that I have, and again, nothing is with Trustee Lane, the problem I have is with what just happened the last few weeks. May 2nd, our former trustee, former chair, Bazzi, was appointed and they left an open seat. I question what happened since then. Since then, on May 16th, I was told that they are thinking of doing ABC. I'm thinking to myself, who are they and why are you talking to them? So this was on May 16th. A few days later, I reached out to our secretary, and I said, hey, what's going on? I hear there's some meetings going on, some discussions. Anybody talking to you? Nobody's talking to me. There's 3 of us still on the executive board. We should get together and have a discussion on what direction we're gonna go. And we left it at, was Trustee Petrikov was gonna call Trustee Mead.
And I suggested we just have a full open meeting.
Yeah, we should have
Right.
had, see what direction we're going. I did, I don't know if he ever got back with you, but a few hours later, I called you and you said he hasn't gotten back with you.
No, not that time.
Not that time, okay. Last Friday, I did receive a phone call from, Dr. Mead. It was an interesting phone call, to say the least. At first, the bottom line is, I'm quoting you, is you're gonna bring me up to snuff. I was very, very offended by that you were gonna bring me up to snuff after there was discussions going on, and me as a board member didn't have a chance to get part of those discussions, the discussion that we're supposed to have right now at a scheduled meeting. And you told me what they were thinking, and you went out of your way to tell me that there's 5 of us feeling this way. So at that point, I felt like I had no voice, which was wrong. That's why we have the Open Meetings Act, so we can come in here, sit down, discuss things, and move forward.
I think I can help clarify something, Sign. When Dr. Mead discussed things with people, if he did it individually and asked what did they think about things, that's not violating the Opens Meeting Act, because that's a one-on-one, and all he did was try to see what people were thinking. My suspicion is due to the fact that he hasn't been in this position before, it may have been awkward in how it played out. That's all I
There was
can
nothing
guess.
awkward about it. He didn't ask me my thoughts after a month. I actually have it on this board we're going into 6-7 months now, and we've never had a discussion about anything, not because of lack of trying. He never called me. He called me to bring me up to snuff. I'm thinking to myself, is this really happening? What am I doing here right now? Should I just leave? What am I doing here? If I'm being told that there's 5 of us thinking this way, you just pretty much took my voice away from me.
Well, now's the time to have the
Well,
conversation.
I'm having the conversation. We're under discussion. I'm having the
Right.
conversation. That's why we're here.
Well, I have to say, I haven't had this specific conversation with Dr. Mead. I'm going off of what happened with what Trustee Elaine had said when Roxanne McDonald was here. So I think that maybe that conversation is being taken out of context. I think that, I don't know if you have some concerns, if this is,
I do have a concerns. That's why I'm bringing them to the table.
but at this point, I personally don't see there has been any violations in terms of if somebody gave an opinion, or maybe that was Dr. Mead saying his thought. You're saying 5 of us. I know I wasn't included in that. I know
It was an
Trustee
individual.
Petlicoff was not included in that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Trustee
I have
Elaine
not
and,
discussed with Dr. Mead. I did ask, do you want to serve as president?
Right, it was an
We had a
individual
breakfast meeting
conversation.
with
Right.
Dr. Jensen, and he would like to serve, he told me, as chair of the college, but he did not want to serve part of a term. And then I asked Trustee Petlicoff also, do you want to serve part of a term? Because I assume the same process will occur. But I did not speak with anyone else, you, and any of the other trustees about it. So it's my assumption that either we move ahead, everyone moves up a seat, I fall back and resume the seat, or we could change everything up, but I don't know anything beyond that.
There's no
And
policy
those
set.
are
I
my
understand
only-
it. I understand
Those are
it.
my only assumptions
Yeah,
about it.
and my
But I will
logical-
say,
And what-
I did not
but can I
talk with
mention
anyone
one
else.
other thing? My logical explanation is you would be last on that rotation from all of us here.
Right.
Which,
I mean,
which
the
is
lowest.
why,
Right.
which is personally why I nominated you, Trustee Elaine. Second of all, Jim, have you had any conversations with me or specifically a group of us?
No, just one-on-one conversation, I believe, with Dr. Mead in the last 4 weeks, maybe.
That's what I'm asking.
So-
I mean, if Dr. Mead had a individual conversation with everybody, and I'm being told that 5 of us think this way, and I asked him, I said, have you talked to Mary Petrikoff about this? And you said, yes. I said, then you turned around and told me, you went on, go ahead and talk to Mary Petrikoff. At that point, why would I waste my time and talk to anybody about this? Well, again, the question is, you know, if this has been decided, why am I even here? This is,
Well, what you could do then is, if we had, there's an opportunity for you to motion for somebody else.
There's a motion on the
To not-
table. You can't
I know,
motion.
now you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I was going to say, the time was if you wanted to nominate yourself or somebody else, or you can put the notion out there now, and we have a
Could ask
vote,
that
and
the
then.
motion be
There-
withdrawn.
And
no,
then-
no,
or-
there's a
right.
motion on the table. Like I said, I have no problem whatsoever, but, you know.
I just want to make sure you understand there
Well, I
isn't, there
understand
is another,
completely,
there is
Trustee
another
Petrikov. I do understand
opportunity.
completely. I'm just concerned with the direction this board's going. We had a discussion with our lawyer a few months ago, and we keep doing things that we shouldn't be doing.
Well,
That's what I'm
one-
concerned about.
I don't think so.
One-on-one conversation with another board member is not in violation.
If I'm told, we would, okay, I mean, I know that everybody wants to be an expert right now, but if I'm told there's 5 of us decided this way, I lost my voice. Anybody want to speak on that?
Well, I think that there's.
I don't
a-
think there was like some secret meeting that happened and this and that. It's not a big deal who
I don't
leads here.
think-
We all capable
right.
of leading, I understand that.
Right.
But why aren't we doing this stuff here at this table?
I think as trustee Petlicoff stated, and as was said during our conversation with our attorney, is that there's a violation of the Open Meetings Act when you're collecting votes, for example, when we're deciding on something, if we're all saying, well, we're going to vote for Mary Lane. However, he's free to discuss a process of how maybe a process would be done, and so on. I think that that's completely different from the violation that you're stating.
That's exactly what falls under a round robin
And-
voting.
Well,
He had the conversation with trustee Thorpe, he had a conversation with you, he had a conversation with trustee Lane, he had a conversation with trustee Petrikoff, and almost 3 weeks later, he decided to call me up to bring me up to snuff. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the conversation that I had with trustee Mead was that he did not want to serve, that he thought there should be 2 chairs. He did not poll me on who I wanted, what I wanted to do, how I would vote. I don't assume, as a matter of fact, I've not assumed that anything would go through smoothly. I don't know. We never know until we're here.
Thank you very
What's
much.
going to
Trustee
happen.
Lane,
Right.
you and I
So-
have never had a conversation about this. That's why we're here.
Yes, that's correct.
This is not the first time we've done this. That's why we're here. We open up the
Right.
discussion and we have that discussion.
Right.
But again, when my vice president tells me, I mean, I'm just repeating myself at this point. I'll shut up after this. When my vice president tells me, he's bringing me up to snuff that there's 5 of us thinking this way, why did I show up here? I made my point. I'll shut up now.
yes. My motion's on the table.
Yeah, the motion is on the table.
Did we have a second?
Yeah, I had seconded.
You second. Are we going to do a roll call vote?
Please.
Okay.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Hamud?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Mead?
Yes.
Trustee Petlicoff, yes. Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, time to move.
Meeting is adjourned then?
Oh, do we adjourn?
Well, they have, the agenda is.
Is it all on one agenda?
To a
Okay.
discussion item.
And congratulations, trustee Elaine.
Or apologies.
Gonna
Jim,
go to blue card.
give her her sign,
Okay, so,
her sign, her name sign.
oh, thank you. Yes, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so we are now, thank you. So we're now in the part of the meeting where we will elect a replacement. I thought we had two, but I guess this is the correct agenda. I have not seen the agenda before this, so anyways. We are now going we're going to return to the first item, which is item number 1, and that will be read by Secretary Petchlokoff now.
Okay, we're back to citizen participation on the agenda action item, but this is really going to be about the discussion item coming up with.
Trustee Petchlokoff, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's not exactly,
Right, it's
we are going to
not.
have to deviate because our agenda is slightly
Altered.
Altered. So I know there are a lot of questions from everyone about how the process is going to occur, so I want to read a statement about state law and how this will happen. This is what happened last time, just to explain to everyone how we got here to this point today. So we're here tonight to interview candidates for the open position of trustee for the P12 Dearborn Schools District and Board of Trustees for Henry Ford College. Prior to Trustee Hammoud being appointed to the board, the last time the Dearborn School Board went through this process was 1986. It's not a process that happens. I'm very pleased with that because normally our people, when you're elected to the board, you serve your term. And that's a great thing. We show up to our meetings, we take our reading seriously. So it's very uncommon for a board to go through this process, even more uncommon for it to happen twice within a 2-year period. None of us foresaw that. For this reason, it's important to take a moment before we start this meeting to go over state law and district bylaws that govern the process to appoint a new board member. So Michigan State Law, MCL 168.311 says, if less than a majority of the officers of the school board district become vacant, there is one vacancy, the remaining school board members shall fill each vacant office by appointment. If a vacancy in the office of the school board member is not filled within 30 days after a vacancy occurred, or if a majority of the offices of the school board member of the school district become vacant, the intermediate school board for that school district shall fill each vacancy by appointment. An individual appointed under this subsection serves until a successor is elected and qualified. So in this case, President Bazzi was appointed to a judge. Her term is up in December of
2020.
2020.
Same year.
So the person appointed will serve until the next election, not the completion of her term.
So November 2018.
2018, the person appointed will have to run again, as Trustee Thorpe did.
And will lose
Four.
their position in November.
Yes. So we'll-
Once the election has been
Once the
certified.
election's been
which
certified,
probably won't be
yes.
in November.
Right, which last time it was a really big election also, so. This part of the law is important because it clearly states that the vacancy must be filled by appointment, not a special election or other method. Also, we as a board have only 30 days to accomplish the task or the intermediate school district, which is Wayne-Risa, for all school districts in Wayne County would have the responsibility to appoint a school board member. Regarding filling a vacancy on the board, our own district bylaw 0142.5 states the following, filling a board vacancy. If the majority of the board is still seated, the vacancy shall be filled by the board using the following procedure. The board shall seek qualified and interested candidates from the community through the news media, word of mouth, and contacts with appropriate organizations. All applicants are to submit a note of their interest in writing to the board president. The board shall interview all interested candidates to ascertain their qualifications. Appointment by the board to fill a vacancy shall be by a majority vote of the full board. Tonight, we're here to interview this part of the appointment process. We'll spend 15 minutes with each of 7 candidates who have submitted letters of interest, as well as provided other materials and proof of residency. The board is working toward a June 12 date for final confirmation vote on a candidate being named to the board. June 12th is our next regularly scheduled board meeting. The board has employed the services of Dr. Michael Wilmot of the Michigan Leadership Institute to facilitate the final vote, and ensuring a fair and impartial method is used to select our next board member. On behalf of the entire board, I wish each candidate the very best and thank them for making a commitment to the children of our schools, the student of Henry Ford College, and the community as a whole. So we will now go to blue cards.
Blue cards. This blue card is, I wish to speak to the board about Adele Mozip, Mr. Walid Fidama of Dearborn.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good in.
Do you start, Doc?
Yeah.
What I elect or I choose Adel Mozib because I know Adel Mozib from long time. That guy is very active with the schools of Dearborn, and I see him all over, especially when I was living Salina School and middle school, and I see him all over, and he worked very good, and he have a good education. And the last election last year, I believe he have almost over 11,500 and more than that voters, and I believe that guy he's good for this position, and we are behind him and we are with him, and we like to see him there. That's it. That's
Thank
all I
you.
have.
Thank you.
This person didn't fill out what they wish to speak to the board about, but I can make a guess. Adib Mozip.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to support the appointment of Adel Mozib to the board for a few reasons, and I will make them short because I know many people want to speak and not told you. But one is he's going to bring to the board a very unique experience and background that I think unmatched in the community in terms of involvements in the school sport, in the school activities, in terms of empowering students, supporting schools and teachers, understanding the issues that are in play in the schools. And he has been active in the boards, in the schools for more than 10 years. And as Mr. Walid said, he's highly educated, but also he's taken his education and knowledge to a task even without being in the board to help facilitate conversation that address issues in the schools. And the second thing is that, as you all know, Adel came to this board last time for the open seat that was here. And I think at that time he didn't get the support from the board. He ran a positive, open, clean campaign last year with alongside other candidates, and won the vote and support of 11,000. In other boards and other elected boards, most like example of City Council of Dearborn, if it became a vacant, the person that received the most vote get to become the person because they run a campaign, they receive the support of the person next to the person that is in the board already. Third, I think as a person that know him as a brother, I know his character, and that's why I want to speak to you as a unique. I know how he's committed. I know his honesty, his integrity, He exemplify the person that you would like to work with, to have in the board with you. And finally, he will represent a growing community that has not been represented in this board, a community that is filling many of the schools, a community that it's a time for it to have an equitable seat in the tables when things are discussed, because he will channel the parents, those parents' concerns, perspectives, ideas. And that's why I support him, and I think he will be the most qualified, but also I hope that you, this time, make the right choice, and I hope that as the statements that was read, that you're looking at someone who served this community. I don't think there's someone that has done much as Adil. But also, I hope that we keep the politics aside and make an honest and straight decision. I know everyone wants to be in the board, and that's a good in our community that we have a lot of active members. But as someone who ran campaigns, someone who's been active, I think if we can, and he bring a unique experience and qualifications, that you make an honest, and I hope that, and I trust that you will do that. Thank you.
The next blue card also wishes to speak about the appointment, Mr. Zuhair Abdahak.
Good evening, everyone. I do not have children in Dearborn schools. I have children in Dearborn Heights, and I chaired the committee to pass $35 million for Crestwood schools. And successfully we did after 49 years of failure. Because I am very interested in education, I love education. I think the only thing I can take in my life with me is my education, and no money in the world worth a degree I get probably in my lifetime. That's why I am here. And I want to make sure that politics is out of this selection. What I heard on the street already is not pleasant. I'm not going to say who I'm supporting for which one. These people are probably all qualified, but I would like to see somebody who has children, who's interested, who has worked in the community, who has roots in the community, and he has in his heart the benefit only of the children of the schools. And I hope some of you are my friends. I supported Mary Lane, Fadwa, Hussein, Shkof. I don't know you too. But I did support some people, for this board since day one when they ran. And I believe that you are good, decent people. You will make the right choice. And I hope we will not be disappointed with your choice. And I thank you very much.
And the last speaker who wishes to speak about the vacant seat is Mr. Salah Hadwan. He's from Hamtramck.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak to you guys tonight. My name is Salah Hadwan. I am not a Dearborn resident. I'm a resident of Hamtramck, Michigan. I came out here because I value a community that strives to improve itself, and people who are part of the community who actually really, truly love the community and want to improve it. So I wanted to speak here about this situation because I am currently serving on the Board of Education in Hamtramck. I was appointed in 2015. It was a similar situation. I was interviewed along with 7 other people. During the interview, it seemed intimidating, and, I didn't know if that it was going to work out just because of, not important reason, let's just say that. But regardless, I just wanted to say a little bit about what makes a great school board. A great school board has visions, goals, and measure success of the district with the superintendent. They make thorough thoughts and, decide collaboratively on decisions that will impact the students of the district and leave all personal things, aside. At the end of the day, they pay attention to finances. They monitor the fiscal year health of the district. They focus on the achievement and implementing policies that will ensure success for all students. Great school board members advocate for the local, state, and national level of public education. They take advantage of opportunities to communicate the needs of the schools to their levels of government and advocate strongly for the communities and the district. I'm here in support of Adele for many reasons. I truly love being on the Board of Education. I met Adele before being appointed. The first time I met him, it was actually during a I'm just trying to think. There was a charter school in Hamtramck that had called us for a career day. So it was me and about 5 other people that showed up, and Adele was one of the people that was there. So we all finished the presentation, and the students answered, asked a bunch of questions. So I go to Adele and I said, I haven't seen you in the city because it's not every day you see another Yemeni that's really active and passionate about trying to help the students or any of that. He said, oh, I'm not from the city. I'm from Dearborn. So I kind of I give a lot of respect because I've seen him in multiple events in the city, and I never knew that he didn't live there, but he's been so active. Then I got to know him, and I seen all the things that he's done for the city of Dearborn, and it's astonishing, honestly. I just hope that, when you guys do interview your potential candidates, that you choose the right person, regardless of their background, their culture, their last name, all those things aside. Please make the right decision and see the qualifications the person has, their intent, who's going to be the best fit for you guys as a board. Because it really does make a huge impact to have the right person join you guys. Other than that, good luck to all the candidates, and I hope you guys really do make the right decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to respond just quickly. I'd like to congratulate you on your appointment.
I do have one.
One more? Okay. So I know Hamtramck Schools is doing very well and is improving, which I'm really grateful for. But I don't know that there is a right person. We have 6 people who are eminently qualified, and when I look at their qualifications, all 6 of them, I'm really impressed. So.
7.
Well, actually, we had 7 people, but 1 person has withdrawn. So
Oh.
that's what Dr. Maleko just told us that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so it's going to be 6 people, so.
All right, thank you.
So,
Who withdrew?
pardon? Wida Al-Shawi has withdrawn
Okay.
for qualification reasons, so, yeah.
The last one, this is from Mrs. Aman Fidama. She doesn't wish to speak, but says that I know she's representing Adele Mosip, and I know he will be great at his job. All right, so that's all the blue cards.
Okay, so we're ready to go ahead. We're 15 minutes behind right now, but our first
We had to withdraw, so
candidate
we're on time.
withdrew, so
Barry, I
we,
think, has a.
Celia
President
Nass,
Lane.
sorry,
I
Trustee
guess I'm
Barry.
gonna make us a couple more
Yes.
minutes late.
Go ahead.
and, I'm gonna put a motion on the table, and I want my colleagues to truly think about before moving forward. I would like to put a motion on the table to send this process to Wayne County.
Wouldn't we do that if we can't come to a decision?
Yeah, it'll automatically go with.
If we can't come to a
I'm putting a motion
decision?
on the table. I don't know if there's probably not gonna be support, but I'm putting a motion on the table to send it to Wayne County at this point.
Do you want
Why?
to give us a reason?
No.
You have to have a second.
Yeah, there's no second in the motion, I guess it dies.
I mean,
Well, we can-
you know, I respect your opinion. I'd like to know your reasoning.
If we can't have an honest discussion, then we won't know how to
You're
vote.
right, that's why, let me
Okay.
just,
Do you want to take a 5-minute break?
you know what, I'll just withdraw my motion.
Okay.
Anything else anybody wants to bring up before we bring in our first candidate?
Yeah, we have, I just want to make a quick statement. We had 7, now
I'm
we
sorry.
have 6
I'm sorry,
qualified.
trustee Thorpe was.
I'm sorry.
just
I'm
about-
sorry, I was just, with the questions, are we gonna have a certain order that we're gonna be asking the questions?
Yeah, so why don't we quickly discuss that? We have a list of questions that we're going to ask everyone. We ask all the same questions to all 6 of the candidates. So trustee Thorpe, how about, I'll start, and then we'll go over to you, and we'll rotate around the table.
Where do we, is it in the,
It should be in the folder, but to the audience, I'm sorry, we're using our laptops, and some people have paper, so it's little.
all right.
Everybody does have a packet, so does everybody have their questions?
Yeah.
So we will rotate around and have the various trustees read. So I'll start with the opening question, and then trustee Thorpe, will you read the next one, Dr. Mead, and
All
then
right.
so on? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Trustee Barry.
Yeah, like I was saying, originally we had 7 more than qualified, and I would be happy with, with the 6 left, I would be happy to work with any of the 6. I'm looking forward to working with any of the 6, but, I did consult with counsel, and I will not be engaging in this process, and I don't have to give a reason why. My counsel was, my attorney was okay with that, so here's the.
So you're recusing yourself?
I'm
Or
I'm
you're
not engaging in the process.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm just going to make one statement
Okay.
too, because I think this kind of reflects upon what some of the discomfort is within the audience and at the table. But I'd like to remind everybody, our policies and bylaws are online and available for everybody to read, but we have a section called Board Member Ethics. It's 144.2. And it's got a lot of things in it, but number C under board member ethics is this, and I would like everybody to keep this in the forefront when we come back next week to make decisions. We render all decisions based on the available facts and independent judgment and refuse to surrender that judgment to individuals or special interest groups. And we encourage the free expression of opinion by all board members and seek systematic communications between the board and students, staff, and all elements of the community. And I think that in that respect, instead of us feeling pressured to make decisions, that the other thing is our board philosophy within our bylaws. And the board has the dual responsibility for implementing statutory requirements pertaining to public education and for meeting the desires of residents. While the board has an obligation to determine and assess citizen desires, it is understood that when the voters elect delegates to represent them in the conduct of specified educational programs, they at the same time endow their representatives with the authority to exercise their best judgment in determining policies, making decisions, and approving procedures for carrying out the responsibility. I just think we need to remind all of us of the role, responsibility, and parameters as board members that we hold, and that when we move forward in any of these decision-making processes, there isn't one best decision or one right way to do it. The only way to do it is in our best judgment that serves the entire community.
Thank you. I'll make a statement as well. It's usually said that the Board of Education's toughest job is choosing a new superintendent, but I would say that's not true. The toughest job is what we're engaged in right now. It's choosing a trustee, because a trustee joins us, and a trustee will evaluate the superintendent and will decide on the superintendent and will direct the superintendent for the district. So in my opinion, this is the most important job we will do. And since I heard from former President, now Judge Bazzi, that she would be leaving, this has been on my mind. And believe me, it has been a great struggle for me, because I know there are a lot of people in our community who could fill this seat. And as a matter of fact, there are people who are filling that seat, who engaged in this process just a little while ago. And I'm delighted that Trustee Thorpe, for one, and Trustee Hamud both chose to run in the election. Everyone can run in the election, but the elections as school board are all different. So in one election, there'll be 15,000 votes cast. My first election that I ran in, I think there were 3,000 to 5,000. I don't remember exactly.
I
But-
ran against 11 candidates.
Yeah, everyone is different. As a matter of fact, we cannot take the next highest vote getter because we're not even clear who would the next highest vote getter be. There was someone who was higher, but there are different elections, there are different seats, they've been elected at different times. So we are not like the city council, we don't conduct our business, and we can't. We're different under state law. So I feel that we will do a fair job. We did a fair job, and we have great trustees right now. I'm really happy and very proud to serve with everyone. I know that everyone struggles with so many of these issues at the college and here, and every one of us will lose sleep over so many things that we decide. But human affairs are not right and wrong. They're frequently shades of gray in between. So it's a great struggle to figure out what's the fairest thing to do, what's the best thing to do. For my part, I will not vote for a new trustee based on someone's last name or their background. I can assure everyone that. I don't even know who I will vote for. I plan on listening to the candidates, and I plan on looking at everyone's background. They've submitted some background to us. We know other background, which is available at Wayne County election filings. There's so many different things that we can all investigate, and all of us have looked at different things about all of the different candidates, Facebook and so many other things. So my mind is not made up, and I don't want to speak for anyone else because I don't know what anyone else is thinking, but I believe that this board can make a fair decision, and we have made fair decisions, and we will continue to do so. So thank you, Trustee Petchlokoff, for bringing up the opportunity to speak on it.